Hello and welcome back to tonight's Reporter Show. I'm Nigel Skinner here on 103.6 FM with a special show dedicated to Coronation Street, the tour, joined in the studio by Denise Evans, yourself a tour guide on the original Granada studio tours. And we both went along to the new Coronation Street tour where we spoke with tour guide Tommy Cowell. Tommy, what have been your most sort of favourite part of being a tour guide on Coronation Street?
Well, it happens every day, and it's always when we're stood in the bistro and the tour has come to an end, and I'm about to open the doors out onto the street for the guests to go outside and just roam around the street. And I open the doors, the Coronation Street theme tune plays, and you see the look on everybody's faces when they see the street for the first time, and that is just the best moment. And it happens every hour when I do a new tour, and it's fantastic.
Okay, brilliant. Well, and everybody can come and experience that, just like we have now, Denise. But you must have many memories from yesteryear, too many to share, I think, in the short space of time we've probably got.
Oh, yes,
but,
lots and lots
what sort of
memories.
highlights were there?
I think it was also working with the team because they were just fantastic. The tour guides were brilliant people, great friends, and in fact some of them went on to do television work and become quite famous. For example, Anthony Cotton, who's Sean in Coronation Street.
All right, so Anthony was a tour guide.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. There you are, Tommy.
Yes.
You
There's
could be
hope for
appearing
us
on
yet.
the street. Have you any ambition to do that?
I wouldn't want to appear in the street because I'm an awful actor. I do a bit of extra work, and I've done 4 jobs, and so far I've been cut out of every single one of them. But no, I've no ambition to act, but I would love to write scripts for the show.
Yes.
I actually went to a storylining workshop recently, and that was a wonderful experience because you see the nuts and bolts of creating a story for a week-long 5 episodes of Coronation Street, and it's just something I love, and that would be a route I'd like to go down.
Excellent, okay. Denise, back to any of those other famous people you work with.
Oh,
Not
yes.
that you're name-dropping.
Yes, no, I'm not name-dropping, am I? Also, Emma Jesson, who is the weather girl, one of the weather girls, I should say, for Granada Television. She used to be one of the original tour guides that I used to work with. Also, Liam Fox, who is Dan in Emmerdale. He was a tour guide here as well. So a lot of people have gone on into television, so it's been great.
How long did it take you to sort of learn about all the facts of Coronation
Do you know,
Street?
that's the weird thing. I've never had to learn a script before. Luckily, the way it was written by Tim Randall, who came up with the script, he did it in paragraphs, and they were easy enough to learn. I tried to learn a paragraph a day. So we got the script quite far in advance, so I learnt a paragraph a day.
So rather than learning sort of facts...
He wrote all the facts. He wrote all the facts and figures and whatnot.
I mean, do people ask you questions that you can't possibly answer?
Oh, do you know... no. I mean, I know that sounds quite like a big thing to say, but I do watch the show and I love it, and I think that helps with this job. I mean, it's not an essential requirement, I suppose, but it helps a lot if you know the show. I mean, it's been on for 54 years.
Well, that's what I mean. You'd also almost have to be a mastermind.
That's
at Coronation
it,
Street
yeah.
to
I
know
mean,
all the answers.
We have got some fans that work for the show, so when in doubt, I go to them and they could tell you everything. I tried to catch them out recently. There's a bit of graffiti on the bridge by the Rovers, and it says RCFC, I think it says. And I tried to catch him. I said, "What does that stand for?" And it stands for a football club. So I was like, and he knew what that was. I was like, I thought I'd got you out then, but no, he knew.
Yeah.
Unless he's making it up. I mean, I would never know. He could be making all this up, but I doubt it.
Denise, did you have much of a script to learn when you were doing a tour?
Yes, we did. We did have quite a long script, actually. But we also used to ad-lib as well, because the way the tour was structured, we would go through the tour and we would have the system. It's like a red light system for transmission, which would mean you can't go into that next room because the tour guide was already in that room, so you had to wait. So you had to wait for it to go green. But if you finish your script, for example, and the red lights were still on, then you would have to just add lib to that and add little bits of features and bring more of the interaction with the audience. They would interact with you until that red light changed to green, and then you could go through then into the next room.
And how many people do you show around?
Each it can vary. During the summer or a busy weekend, it's 34 at the most per group, but we've had tours as at the end of the day as little as 2 people on a tour.
It's a bit more intimate.
A little bit more intimate. You change it when it's a big group. You're louder and you're speaking to everyone. when it's a bit more intimate, you can speak to them more of a on a conversational kind of level, and they reply and speak, and it's either way is great, really,
And can I also say, if you were held up in one of the studios and Anthony Cotton was following you, I used to bring Anthony into my tour, and he would tap dance. He would entertain the public. He was absolutely fantastic.
Ever the entertainer.
A great dancer. I just thought I'd add that.
Well, perhaps we'll see him on Strictly. I don't know if he's been on it yet.
There we go.
So, Tommy,
yes.
what other bits of the tour are newer now?
Yeah, well, we've got Rita's Cabin in the studio. That's a new studio set which you can look at. But outside on the street, we've got several new features that have just been open. We've got the garage, Kevin's garage, and we've left that open. Originally, the door for that was closed, but we've put a car in there. We've made it look like a real workspace.
His taxi has arrived as well.
Steve's taxi. We've got that outside streetcars. So that's a lovely little addition. And of course, we've got the kebab house. But it just makes it feel a little bit more real that you can actually go inside this building, because all the other buildings are closed, because obviously there's nothing inside them. They're all empty shells. But it makes a great little detail, because that was actually used for filming, and you can actually step foot through the door into the kebab shop and feel like you're part of the show.
Yeah, the thing is, I think you can't actually go into Roy's Rolls, can you?
No.
But I mean, Roy's Rolls wouldn't have existed, Denise, would it?
No, it didn't. Not
That
when
whole
I
street
was here.
scene.
No, it's so different, actually. Some of it is similar, but some of it is very different. We used to actually have Baker Street, which was a live street. There was lots of entertainment going on in there, and you could walk into 221B Baker Street and see Mrs. Hudson. And we'd also have Checkpoint Charlie as well, where we had a tram that used to come along the street, and then the German guards would get onto the tram and interrogate all the public. So that was quite a good feature as well. So there are some things that are the same, but some things completely different.
Well, now you've visited the new set, Denise, do you think we'll be back visiting every week?
Oh yes, definitely. Yes, I think I'd like to work here. Definitely.
Yes, I think you'll find Denise on your tour again.
Such a great place to work, it really is. And we had the Christmas party in December last year, and we actually got to go to the new set, and we had an exclusive tour with David Nugent, who's worked for the Granada Studios before, and now he's at the new set in Media City, and he showed us around the new street, which is so much bigger than our set, and it's very surreal seeing it.
It's interesting you say that, because do people comment at all about what they're seeing now in the set, at the old set, and looking at the programme and saying
no
it's
one
different?
Notices, but that was the point. I think they didn't want it to look different on TV. The only time you notice the difference is if you're a super fan. There's an extra window above the Rovers, and you can fit two cars going down the road at the same time rather than just one. But on TV, you really wouldn't notice that at all. So no one's actually picked up on the differences. I think that's why they enjoy seeing the street, because it looks like the one that's on telly. So, and it was the one that was on telly at one point.
I tell you, we've moved on a bit. We were in the Rosamond Street Medical Centre, is that right?
Yes.
Which is now essentially the
shop.
the
It's
tour
the gift shop.
Yes.
Yeah. We kicked out all the nurses and the doctors and replaced it with shop assistants. And we got lots of different items on sale. But at one point, this was used for the medical centre. It was used in the live 50th episode. So when Peter and Leanne got married in hospital after the tram crash, this was actually where they went to film those scenes. So
right.
it wasn't a real hospital. Yeah.
Okay. There's a bit of Coronation Street playing in the background.
Yeah, we've got that because we get long queues, where people getting the photo, so they want something to watch. So we've got old episodes playing, classic episodes.
And so, but Denise, now when you were here doing your tour, it wasn't a gift shop, was it?
Well, they did have gifts as well, but it used to be the Coronation Street experience, and we'd have a carousel that the people used to go onto the carousel. It used to revolve around, and they could watch clips from the show from years back. And that was the Coronation Street experience, and then they could have photographs taken, and there would be little gifts like there are now here. And then we'd have the Star Tours that would actually be here as well, where we would talk to the audience, and then either Mike Baldwin or Ken Barlow would just walk through and surprise everyone. So that was here.
And also, at the beginning, although there's not a carousel and it's not kind of like an experience, there's a very interesting sort of 5-minute video, isn't there, of sort of highlights over the years from 50 years of Coronation Street.
Just before we see we see the corridor of the stars and the costume department, all very much behind the scenes. And then we go through the doors into the studio, and just before you see the sets, you see a little cinema. And that's where you get to watch a video compressing 54 years of Coronation Street into 5 minutes. So we've got all the dramatic moments, all the sad moments, and most importantly of all the funny moments, because Coronation Street's well known for its good humour. So, and end it laughing, you know.
Okay. Well, I know, Denise, you don't want to leave, but...
No, I don't. No, I'm going to stay here.
Maybe be back.
I'll be back.
Right, thank you.